So, 7th, we are reading from 25th shloka. Vedāhaṁ samatītāni vartamānāni cārjuna bhaviṣyāṇi ca bhūtāni māṁ tu veda na kaścana. Very dangerous shloka. Very difficult to understand. So, Krishna is saying, I know everything that has happened in the past, that is happening in the present, and all things that are yet to come. I also know all living entities, but me no one knows. Amazing, amazing. So Prabhupada is saying here the question of personality and impersonality is clearly stated. If Krishna, the form of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, were Maya, material as impersonal is considered him to be, then like the living entity, he would change his body and forget everything about his past life. Anyone with a material body cannot remember his past life, nor can he foretell his future life, nor can he predict the outcome of his present life. Therefore, he cannot know what is happening in the past, present, and future. Unless one is liberated from material contamination, he cannot understand the past, present, and the future. So Lord Krishna clearly states that he completely knows what happened in the past, what's happened in the present, what will happen in the future, unlike an ordinary human being. The fourth chapter, we have seen that Lord Krishna remembers instructing Vivaswan millions of years ago, the Sun God. Krishna knows every living being because he's situated in everyone's heart as a super soul. But despite his presence in every living entity, and his presence as a Supreme Personality of Godhead, the less intelligent, even if able to realize the Brahman impersonally, cannot realize Sri Krishna as the Supreme Person. And certainly the Lord Krishna's body is not perishable. He's just like the sun and Maya, it's like a cloud in a material world. We can see that there is a sun and there are clouds and different stars and planets. The clouds may cover all these in the sky temporarily, but this covering is only apparent to our limited vision. The sun, moon, and stars are not actually covered. Similarly, Maya cannot cover the Supreme Lord. By his internal potency is not manifest to the less intelligent class of men, as is stated in the third verse of this chapter. Out of millions of men, some try to become perfect, and out of thousands and thousands of such perfected men, hardly one can understand what the Lord Sri Krishna is. Even if one is perfected by realization of impersonal Brahmana, localized Paramatma, he cannot possibly understand Supreme Personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna, without being in Krishna consciousness. So the answer is we need to know, understand Krishna's position. He is the drashta of this material nature. So everything that we are currently doing, Krishna knows, just like an AI model can know what I am likely to click. Why will Krishna not know? But of course, Krishna knows something more. Krishna also knows what I will mostly click. Not just mostly click, Krishna knows what I will click in one sense, right? So at the same time, we have free will, and how that is simultaneously so is something very inconceivable. Because if this statement were to be true, which says, I know all living entities, I know all things that are yet to come, how can it reconcile with free will? Can we ever have free will and yet Krishna know all things that are yet to come? Yes or no? What are your thoughts?
Yes, Prabhu.
Sorry?
Yes, definitely free will. Even though everyone has got free will, still Krishna can know everything. Krishna knows everything.
Okay. So think of it like a predictive algorithm, right? So like AI. I mean, they're still not accurate, but it's close. Like sophisticated search engines, they use historical data to estimate how the user will behave. So Krishna understands our prakriti, and our free will also is not very sattvic, so it is very rajasic or tamasic. So we are acting in very predestined ways. That is where destiny works actually. So to understand, to believe in destiny, it takes a lot of intelligence. But destiny is something very true. Destiny is true. Whatever is there in fate, it can never be changed. Never be changed. Destiny is true. So if something has to happen, it will happen. How much ever we change, how much ever we try, otherwise it cannot be changed. Only person who can change is Krishna. But whether he wants to change, no, that we don't know. And of course, sadhus also can change. The devas also can change. I'm not saying no. But all of them have limited potency to change. But even to meet those sadhus and this and that, we need to have some scope for that in the destiny. That is also there. But that scope also Krishna can overcome by his mercy, and devotees are the expansions of that mercy. So the point being is that the three modes of material nature are supremely governing us, right? And it appears at least so, right? From when we read Bhagavad Gita, that it is supremely governing us. And as long as we are governed by that, then Krishna in that condition knows everything that we are going to do. And when we are governed by his internal energy, Krishna knows what we will do. Now, at the same time, Krishna also says that he himself does not understand himself also. And Krishna says in Bhagavatam that he does not understand the love for the gopis that they have for him. And because he doesn't understand that love, only he took the form of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So is Krishna lying or Krishna stating the truth? Inconceivable, right? So Krishna says, I know everything. But Krishna does not know the love that his devotees have for him. Does he? He does not. So Krishna doesn't understand many things on the spiritual realm. And that ignorance that he has out of his own choice is what makes spiritual dynamism a reality. So he doesn't know. He doesn't know what Radharani will do. He doesn't know what Stoka Krishna will do. He doesn't know what Sridham will do. He doesn't know the next plan of Sridham. So Krishna loses to Sridham. And Krishna has to carry Sridham on his shoulder. That is a punishment. Whoever loses has to carry the winner on the shoulder. So who's the loser? Krishna is the loser. Why is he the loser? Because he does not know Sridham's next move. He gets to be the loser. So the thing is, it's spiritual reality is very, very difficult to understand. So it's very inconceivable how the Lord knows everything, also the same time how he does not know. And how, even though he knows, we still have free will. Now, to say it is like, I gave the example of a predictive algorithm, it is a little simplistic. Because a predictive algorithm just knows the gambit of choices I make. It does not know the exact choice I make. But in one sense, Krishna even knows the exact choice I'll make. It appears like completely dumbfounding, right? How can that be the case and still I'll have free will? Right? So that is if you understand this paradoxical thing, then you understood spiritual life. Because actually, you know what? We don't have free will. Our free will is in modes of passion and ignorance, there is actually no free will. So as much as we like to think we have free will, we don't have much free will, right? In the lower modes. In the higher modes, we have free will, in the mode of goodness. And in that higher mode, we actually come to realize what is the Lord. And in this way, we can realize his position. And in that higher mode, there are not many choices, right? In the material world, there are many choices. In the mode of passion and ignorance, there are many choices. But in the mode of goodness, there is no choice because there is no entity. There are no things only in the mode of goodness. In unalloyed goodness, there is no, when there is no material energy manifests, there is no diversity, so there are no choices actually. But in the spiritual realm, then there is diversity. The spiritual energy is manifest. It's very interesting. So this conundrum is very interesting. And Bhagavad Gita is achintya. I'll stop here. Any questions or comments, Arun? Thank you, devotees. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.